Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando, that's Corey, and today we're doing 1991's Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Hey-yo! That's the best I got. That was my one day of karate class.
Cool.
That's what they taught me to do, and then I was like, I can't do
it. I never took a karate class. I always said I would. Like, every time I got beat up by a bully, I'm like, I'm going to wait till I take karate. And then I just never did. Because I was too lazy. If you want more hot takes like that, join us on Patreon.
Cool karate chop.
Yeah, join us on Patreon. Look up Kiss the Reviews. We're there. It's only a couple of bucks. You get me and Corey live, uncut, uncensored, before the review starts. So you get a little bit of extra content. Depending on your tier, you get some more stuff. So if you go up in tier, you get some giveaway stuff. You get some watch a movie with us. Like it's kind of cool. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. So
fuck around and find out, bro.
That's right. So you can go to Patreon and check us out there. If you want to follow us on the social media, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Kiss the Reviews. Let's get into the cast of 1991's Showdown in Little Tokyo.
I'm going to say it every time you say it.
I know. This film stars Dolph Lundgren as Sergeant Chris Kenner, Brandon Lee as Johnny Murata, Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa as Yoshida, and Tia Carrere as Minako Okeya.
Did pretty good. I know we have a couple subscribers that live in Japan, so let Armando know how badly he fucked those names up, and if he's like on like the do not let him in.
We've gone through this before with my name. Like, people have butchered my name over the years so many times that I am like, I can't get out of my own head when I see names come up on whether it's these movies or just I'm meeting somebody. I always want to make sure I'm on point with it. So yeah, so if I screwed up those names, let me know, please.
You did.
I'm sure I did. There's no doubt in my mind. I
speak perfect Japanese. You did.
But I said this in the pre-show on Patreon. The title says it all. Showdown in Little Tokyo. There is no guessing about what this is about. It's literally a showdown in Little Tokyo. That's it.
Yeah, this was they came up with the title of the movie and then we're just punch a script out.
Right around it.
Base it around the title. Yep.
Oh my God. But yeah, dude, this movie, I don't even know the last time. I couldn't even give you a guess as to the last time I saw this, but it has been decades since I've seen this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to the original idea behind our show about we're trying to ruin your childhood by reviewing old movies and seeing if they still hold up kind of thing. I used to really like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I knew when I was younger, I knew it was corny. I knew it was a little campy, but wow. Just wow.
No, I mean, are 2 minutes up? Am I allowed to cuss now, YouTube? Because this movie's fucking terrible. No other way to describe that one, kids. It's bad all the way around.
It really is. It really is. And yeah, you said it all.
I'm a Dolph guy, all about Dolph kicking ass, taking names, banging hot Asian chicks. Let's get to it. But yeah, other than that, I feel like Dolph Lundgren wrote this movie because there's way too many people complimenting the size of his dick.
Dude,
I saw you strip down for that hot tub. I'd be frightened too.
We need to go there, and there's a few things we need to discuss about the banging, the hanging dong, the everything going on with that, and we'll get to it. But I think we should just jump right in here, because the funniest part to me was just literally the opening. So the movie opens with eerie music and a tatted up dude flexing, holding a sword, holding a little pew pew, because it's dope as hell, apparently.
I low-key thought I rented American Me for about 30 seconds. I was like, oh my God. First off, I'm going to watch it because American Me is amazing. Second, I fucked up and now I'm going to have to build extra time before we record so I can actually watch the right movie. I was so confused.
Dude, the intro to this movie, now, while not as long as Speed, it's just as frustrating, because I'm like, yeah, we get it, the guy and the sword and the Yakuza of it all, like, fucking cool story, bro.
Here's the most disappointing part of that is that guy never showed up in the movie. That's the biggest Japanese dude I've ever seen in my life. He is straight fucking jacked, and he never shows up. A tatted up jack dude, and you're doing a movie about the Yakuza where everybody's covered in tattoos like fucking Eastern Promises, and this guy doesn't show up to fight anybody? Fuck you. Like, get out of here. Come on.
I thought it might have been the guy that they arrest here at the beginning, but who the fuck knows? Because after we get, swords and pum-pums at the beginning, we cut to Little Tokyo in LA. A leather-clad Chris Kenner busts into an illegal kickboxing operation, because of course he does. And it's run by Tanaka, but it's broken up by a rival gang, and the crew that breaks everything up gets away as Kenner jumps over their car as they try to run him over.
And if you hear when they're doing the illegal fighting thing that's happening, you can hear from one of the guys' corners, Lionheart! So I was really disappointed we didn't get the JCVD cameo of him trying to fight and save his daughter. And
it would have been great.
Or not his daughter. Well, his daughter now, because he adopted his brother's daughter at the end of Lionheart, which is disgusting. You're a fucking pervert, JCVD.
Thanks for the Lionheart review.
You're welcome. It's better than this.
Yes, it is.
I'm just going to randomly bring up facts about Lionheart anytime I don't want to talk about this.
I dig it. I'm right there with you. But so later at a Chinese restaurant, Kenner sees Sato's crew extorting the owner, and he slowly takes them all on and literally ruins the restaurant. These guys are in there like, hey, protection money, and you're gonna pay us, and we're gonna fuck you up, lady. And Dolph is like, hey, I'm gonna say some shit in Japanese, because even though there's Asian people and Japanese people strewn throughout this movie, he is literally the most Japanese of anybody in this film. And he proceeds to slowly, like, he's like, Kia, and kick their ass and destroy this lady's restaurant.
Yeah, the way public education is going right now, they're going to end up teaching in school that Chris Kenner, that was a Freudian slip, Chris Kenner is the reason the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Because this is the most cultural appropriation I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, dude,
and I'm not big on like culture vulture. Like, be yourself. If you're into like whatever,
yeah,
do your thing. But also, it's like, take it easy, Elvis. Like, you don't have to steal the entire culture. You can leave a little something for somebody else.
Wait till the end.
I did.
Spoiler alerts ahead. But during this whole melee, right, in the rustle tussle of it all, Johnny Murata shows up, and he steps in to fight Kenner because he thinks he's one of the thugs, and Murata is Kenner's new partner. and he's part of the Asian task force. And they arrest one of the dudes that like got left behind in the melee.
I like here that he runs into this, being Brandon Lee's character, runs into this situation, and he's looking for his new partner, Chris Kenner. And he's like, the white guy, it must be the bad guy. No, that is clearly Chris Kenner. That is the only possible option in this, is Chris Kenner.
You were correct.
By the way, he's the worst. Like, I love Brandon Lee. We've talked about Brandon Lee when we did The Crow. I love him to death. This character is written so, like, he's the worst detective ever.
It's terrible. He should just be called Piece of Ass, because that is the only reason he is in this movie.
They were like, you're a good looking dude. Yep. Can you do some karate? Fucking dope. You're in the movie.
Yeah, we need Dolph to do the heavy lifting here, Brandon. You're basically Tia Carrere.
Yeah.
Minus the bush.
We're just going to put you in the movie, and all you got to do is compliment Dolph's dick and like fight some people.
Every time Dolph says something like, do you want a hot dog? You got to go, what's a hot dog? Like, that's your role. Is a hot, like, then you eat the hot dog, and then you're like, oh my God, this looks a lot like your dick.
It's so big.
There you go. There's your role, Brandon.
I saw you strip down for that hot tub. I'd be frightened too.
But they take this dude that they arrest here to the station to question him. And Kenner sees like the gang member tattoos and realizes he's Yakuza, because of course he is. And he has a flashback to the murder of his parents by this Yakuza member. And while Kenner and Murata argue, the dude breaks his own neck because, you know, pride and honor and things, and he would rather kill himself in custody, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay. So in Lionheart, it was really curious to me when the woman was working out and looked like she had a pretty decent ass working out. Like I never understood why Leon never tapped that when he walked in.
I don't know.
Because she was, I bet she did butt stuff. Because she is a rich white lady, and they always do butt stuff.
They always do.
They're into some weird shit.
I do have a question. Well, not a question, more of an observation. Mm-hmm. This is why I like mob movies. Because, like, in the mob, they're like, hey, just keep your mouth shut. And then go do your time, and then get out. But apparently, if you're Yakuza, you're like, hey, I gotta kill myself.
Yeah. How about this? Lawyer. Welcome to America. Ask for a lawyer. That's all you have to do. This is crazy.
This was written as if it was like 1721 Japan.
This is bullshit. Like, just straight bullshit. Everybody takes this whole kamikaze thing and they just extrapolate it through all of Japanese culture. And it's like, dude, come on. Again, I said it on Patreon. You got vending machines with panties in them, motherfucker. Like, stop taking yourself so goddamn seriously. This is absurd.
Yes. But we cut to here, the mob boss, Yoshida. He's killing Tanaka by crushing him in his car with this car crusher at like a junkyard that he owns. Mm. And at a party, we see Yoshida questioning Angel about her tipping Tanaka off. And then he has her smoke meth and then gets her naked and decapitates her. And this is my favorite part. So the coroner tells Kenner and Murata that she smoked enough methamphetamine to, you know, kill a fucking herd of cattle or whatever.
Yep.
But then she says it's this new thing called ice. And if it gets out there, it's going to be like the new pandemic. Right? It's not new. It's methamphetamine.
Yeah, no. It's not new. And by the way, Chris Kenner, You fucking failed, because it's everywhere.
Yes,
it's fucking everywhere. I'm pretty sure I got about 8 cousins on that motherfucking shit. Running around in their underwear. But this is just, again, she even makes this mention, like, I've never seen someone, like, decapitation's never easy.
Kenner, I have seen a lot of would-be beheadings in my day. It's not as easy as it looks. Whoever did this was very good.
And immediately I was like, OJ did it. Duh.
Of course.
Duh. Like, I know what we just saw, but I never saw the Yakuza guy chop her head off. If I'm Chris Kenner, I'm dropping a fucking black glove and being like, I figured it out.
Speaking of Kris Jenner, her husband took the Yakuza's luggage and hid it over here so the cops couldn't find it.
This is a weird part of town.
So Kenner and Murata here then go to Tanaka's club, and they find out that club is under new ownership, and they see Minako, and they question her about Angel. Mm-hmm. Some Yakuza show up. Kenner and Murata do some ass kicking, but they're taken to see Yoshida because they get overtaken by too many gang members. So Kenner recognizes Yoshida here as his parents' killer, and they have this little back and forth. And Murata gives his "we're cops" talk.
Policeman, you understand? It's bad to shoot me. He's a cop too. It's bad to shoot him.
And he talks Kenner into not killing Yoshida, and they walk out. This, dude, 2 things. One, to your point, the shaky hand of it all was okay. We don't make fun of acting, but let's just do this because Dolph, you made your money, guy. This, it ain't cutting it. It ain't cutting it. I don't give a shit if it was 1991 or not.
Dude, I just saw a TikTok of Michael J. Fox playing guitar in a wheelchair, and he shook way less. This is so over the top. It's insane.
You were right.
I did actually get a chuckle out of Brandon Lee, like taking his badge out, and he's like, "We're cops." Like that was gonna do something. But
look at this. Do you know what this shield represents?
Cop. Policeman. You understand?
He pulls out the gun and he puts it in Yoshida's face because he's like, you killed my parents, you dirty rat. And 57 Yakuza all take out their guns. And they somehow convince them that they can't shoot them because they're cops. And Yoshida's like, let them go. You're murdered. This movie's over in 27 minutes.
Yeah, I don't understand this in any way. Like, when Brandon Lee goes, "Come on, Lan, let's just go." Because that's an option? You just fucking killed members of their gang. They're going to fucking kill you. They have you dead to rights. Like, this isn't even a thing. And with motherfucker shaky ass hands, they don't even have to worry about shooting you and you involuntary pulling the trigger and killing their boss. You ain't hitting shit, dickhead. Nothing. I would have. No. He's put down so fast, it's not even fucking funny.
Oh, 100%. And this whole like, I know you're going to be after me to kill me, and I'm going to try to kill you. And like this little like back and forth they have, like it's a fucking dick measuring contest, with which apparently Dolph will win because it's huge. But like this whole thing where it's like mano-y-mano, and that's not how gangs and thug life really works.
It's because they have no honor.
Okay.
Fuck you.
My second favorite part is Kenner and Murata now, after they have their little heart-to-heart, where like Kenner's like, my parents were killed, whatever. They follow Yoshida to the Red Dragon Brewery, where he's importing and distributing ice or meth. How, you may ask? Is he like putting it in beer boxes and shipping it along with his shipment of beers? No. He's just putting the meth in the beer. He's selling meth beer.
Yep.
That's his grand plan. I want to know one thing. I know if you smoke a lot of meth, rot your teeth out. If you drink it with beer, does it fuck up your teeth, or are you good to go?
Well, surprisingly, I've never done meth because, ew.
I've seen you with your shirt off. You do meth.
I've never done meth. I am a wealthy white American. I do not have to do that. I do cocaine like a goddamn adult. But cocaine. Cocaine. But yeah, no, at this point, I have stopped completely worrying about the plot. I know that's our job, and we're supposed to be like, drinking meth and beer bottles, joke time. I'm out. At this point, I'm like, I don't just... let's get through this. None of this matters. The only thing that matters is Dolph Lundgren's revenge against this main Yakuza guy and the size of Dolph Lundgren's dick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those are the only two things that matter in the plot of this movie. The rest of it's all just background.
Because we're getting there. Because Yoshida kidnaps Tia Carrere, takes her back to his house, and Kenner and Brandon Lee, they get to the house, and they're, oh my God, she's gonna kill herself. Yoshida leaves, and he's like, go get Yoshida. I'm gonna go rescue Tia Carrere because she's super hot
and suicidal, apparently.
Yes. So he goes and rescues her. They take her back to his cabin. I'm sorry. They take her back to Mr. Miyagi's fucking dojo.
Well, you're skipping over a lot. Because you're skipping over the part where Dolph Lundgren takes suicidal Tia Carrere back to his apartment and then teaches her how to expertly load a fucking gun like Courtney Love's best friend did to Kurt Cobain. And is like, this is how you use a shotgun, suicidal girl. I'm going to leave the fucking apartment now for a couple hours. Deuces.
What I also left out was the fact that he murders everybody in the house to go get and save Tia Carrere. And and I know we've made fun of a couple of these, one of the worst barrel rolls of all time.
Okay.
As he rolls, and he's just spraying, bro. He's just spraying and praying and hits everybody.
I got a couple things. We have commented it before, like in the Dolomite movies, about how they have to do the fast forward thing because the fight scenes didn't look real enough. Yep. This is what they look like when you don't use the fast forward option. Yes. Everybody looks like old fucking geriatrics out there rolling around. This made me believe I can be in movies. I've already sent a reel to like half the people we've interviewed on this show, like George, Eduardo, fucking Alec. All of these guys have got my acting reel, and it's just me doing geriatric fucking barrel rolls.
Dude, Dolph looks younger now as far as like athleticism and things in the Expendables than he did in this in 1991.
Yeah,
he's 100.
He traded his athleticism for his speech because he could speak way better in this movie than he can in the Expendables.
Yes.
It sounds like he's just constantly got mashed potatoes for a tongue. But in this movie, you can at least understand his dialogue, which is also terrible.
He's very well spoken in this one.
But we also get in this scene where they're getting away with Tia Carrere. Him literally lifting up a car while bullets are flying all around them.
Yes. This is like a Dukes of Hazzard episode.
With the Incredible Hulk as the guest star. This is fucking crazy.
Hell yes.
And at first I was like, dude, there's no way. But then I realized we were only getting the shot of his biceps, and we didn't see his fucking car jack of a goddamn dick fucking just being wrenched up, and it's just lifting that car. So with that, I was like, on board. I get it now.
Well, and between him taking Tia Carrere to his dojo in the woods, Kenner and Murata find Yoshida and his gang in a bathhouse, and we get a naked bathhouse fight because, of course, we need a naked bathhouse fight with guys in diapers, and they fuck up a bunch of them, but Yoshida, of course, gets away.
Do you remember in Lionheart when they were in the fighting pits and like that chick got the blood splattered on her? I'm still very concerned about her health.
So am I.
I think she's like taking like all those HIV medications you see on YouTube ads. She's the one taking them.
All of them.
I get it now. By the way, I did see an HIV commercial the other day where it was all straight people. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we're really like, talk about blurred lines, Robin Thicke. We're there. I'm like, straight people get AIDS?
Who would have thunk?
Pass me that needle, guy I never met. I need to take the edge off of this news.
At this cabin, I'm totally just glossing over everything you just said.
That's fine.
At this cabin that they take Tia Carrere to for protection, Kenner and Minako here bang it out after taking a soak in his tiny hot tub. And this is not only the shortest love scene in movie history, I'm 100% sure, it is also the worst scored love scene in movie history. The music was terrible. It's a very slow, maybe let's call it 15, 20 second, like, yeah, done. Like, okay, cool. Dolph has a huge cock. He finishes quick.
He finishes quick because he's completely uninterested. I think he faked it. The face I was transfixed on his face. Like never before watching a man about to fucking jit because it never happened. And he's just like this.
He doesn't have vinegar strokes. It's just deadpan.
And then all of a sudden, this is his tell. You ready? He smiles like a kid on Christmas, but before he even saw the presents, he saw like 3 of the cookies were eaten and half of the milk was gone. And he came down, he's like, oh my God, it happened. And he's just like that excited, that pre-excitement. He's there. And that is because, and I'll be totally honest with you, if I'm allowed to raw dog fucking 20-year-old Tia Carrere, I'm probably doing that too. 30 seconds and I'm wearing a shit-eating grin for the rest of the night.
Well, and we get, this is where we get the dialogue. Since we're on Dolph's dong right now, because the Yakuza show up again. They find him somehow, and Dolph gets out of bed, hangs dong. You get bare-ass Dolph here. Brandon Lee tells him that he has the biggest dick he's ever seen.
Just in case we get killed, I wanted to tell you, you have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
A gunfight breaks out, and all 3 get taken hostage. And they burn Kenner's place to the ground for no fucking apparent reason.
This is the weirdest pre-gunfight conversation I've ever heard in my life. Because it's not like, it's not
crazy.
Like, bro, that fucking dick is slamming. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey man.
He alludes to it like 4 times.
It's so heartfelt. Because he's standing there, he's like, hey man, I want you to know before we die, you have the biggest dick I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, do you want to fuck it if you live through it? Because it's cool. Yeah. He'll spin you around on that motherfucker too for 20 seconds. That's what he does.
And
you pop a quarter in the butthole, and he fucking spins you around on his dick like a ride outside a grocery store.
And he won't have any emotion about it. He won't show emotion.
None.
You get nothing.
And all the dick talk aside, I have to throw this in.
Corey's Life Lessons.
Hi, kids. Uncle Corey here. If you are battling the Yakuza, as we all do from time to time, it happens, and you save the hot girl and you take her back to the safe house, right? This is where we're going to be safe and we're going to make our stand. I don't know. Maybe make it one not built out of paper.
You were correct.
Hi, Chris. You're not in fucking Japan. You're in America. We use wood or brick. Most of the time, both. Get on fucking board, asshole. This is bullshit.
Yes! Yes!
All he had to do was try to culturally appropriate Italians, and that house would have been the shit. It would have been all brick, all cinder block, no wood whatsoever.
Yeah, you're pussy dicking around building a fucking house that can be rebuilt in 5 minutes after an earthquake.
Exactly.
Dumbass.
Well, so after this whole thing, Kenner and Murata get tortured while Yoshida like watches from closed circuit TV in the backseat of his car as he like gropes Tia Carrere. And then after Kenner and Murata escape, they get away, quote unquote get away, but they get ambushed. It's a trap. So they get put in the car crusher, they get thrown into the shredder, and they get away without the Yakuza and anybody like knowing they get away. So now they're like, oh, cool, we're going to pretend that we're dead. And then Murata gets forgotten about here because we get a short montage of Kenner preparing for the final battle with Yoshida.
Before we get into the big reveal of Dolph Lundgren's outfit changes throughout this, Dolph Lundgren is clearly got something going on with Tia Carrere. She's just been kidnapped for the second time by a guy who clearly has... You've seen the videotape of the white girl. He has no problem shraping whatever he wants to shrape.
Yes.
And you're like, let's not rush things. I want to enjoy being dead for a while.
We're going to enjoy being dead for a while. Trust me. They'll be surprised when we show up.
No! Come and rescue me! Now!
Right now!
I'm about to get gangbanged by the whole goddamn LA branch of fucking Yakuza. And you're like, nah, I'm going to go on vacation for a while and collect this death pension. Life insurance paid off. Fuck you, bro. And really, that's not even... I could even understand if you're like, hey, man, being a cop was tough. Everybody thought I did. I'm a Mexican now, Andy Dufresne style. Never going to hear from me. I can understand that. But you went home to go put on fucking your Halloween costume and go have a fucking memory time moment about your dead fucking parents. I'm about to be a dead person. I'm alive now. You can't save them. You can save me now. You son of a bitch.
Dude, this is so ridiculous. And again, the ridiculousness continues because I didn't even bring this up earlier, trying to save some time, but we cut back to the brewery where Yoshida like preps the shipment of his drug beer, and Kenner and Murata like hijack one of his trucks. Dude, they were like, what? Can we get every stereotypical gang member, the Hells Angels guy, the fucking essays, the fucking black gang, I forget, there was another one mixed in there with all of them. But it's just like cut to the black gang and they're like, hey man, they go into their shit.
Same shit.
And then you get like the white trash Hells Angel guy and he's like, down, 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 down.
Well, I love too where the one gang goes, what are you doing about those two cops that are on your ass?
We chewed them up and spit them out. Any other questions?
And they're like, cool, good enough for me. Well, then why'd you ask? What was the fucking point of asking? You're just like, yeah, man, fucking wipe the floor with them, bro. Let's get on with business. And you're like, cool, dude. I guess I'll take your word for it.
Let's rock on. Can you give me some of those cases of drug beer?
And by the way, the fucking whatever flannel shirt gang had so many blue and red bandanas mixed in there. I thought it was the fucking K-Dot pop-up concert.
Is it possible this story is true?
But they crash in. We get more gunplay here. And we get some hand-to-hand combat as Kenner and Murata murder all the Yakuza. And Murata reads the one dude his rights as he kills him.
You have the right to be dead.
And this was the funny thing because like Murata the whole time is like, you can't kill him. You can't kill him, Kenner. Like, you got to arrest him. We're cops. Don't you see my badge? And then here he's just like, yeah, fuck it. We're killing everybody. And now I'm going to be the comedian as I kill you.
And he doesn't even read him his rights properly. He fucked up reading his Miranda rights. I'm like, you skipped at least 2 lines in there. Even like the right to be dead. I'm not counting that. That's like your cool line, which that's your cool line. But it's, dude, this is fucking insane. I also didn't know goddamn Japanese beer was flammable. What the fuck is in that shit?
It's meth.
Jesus. Murphy. Can you imagine the poor bastard like sitting around a campfire outside and opens a nice, cool, refreshing Japanese beer and just blows up like a fucking honky smoking a cigarette with an oxygen tank?
Hell yes.
After the whole brewery of it all, Kenner finds Minako and Yoshida. Yoshida has her tied up and he's poured like gasoline everywhere. He lights the gas on fire with his gun and then tries to run. And Kenner finally catches up with him in the middle of a parade in Little Tokyo, because of course there's a parade in Little Tokyo for no reason. Yoshida shoots Kenner, but Kenner challenges him to a sword fight like a man. And then this is where we get the final fight. And this bothers me because, FYI, I know we said Yoshida kills him earlier in this movie in real life, but in movie life, even in the suspend disbelief movie world, Yoshida cuts him 1,000 times with his fucking, he cuts his face, his chest, his stomach, his arms. He's already shot. Kenner bleeds out before this fight ends, but Kenner finally kills him by stabbing him to the twirly fireworks display, which cooks him to death, and that's the end of the movie.
He doesn't stab him to it. He stabs him, and then with the sword, throws his body that's still alive to a perfect bullseye right onto the pinwheel fireworky thing, which fireworks are, you know, more Chinese, but that's okay. That's okay, guys.
They don't have fireworks in Japan?
No, they're not allowed. They're completely illegal.
I told you, I'm not cultured at all. So
no, I made that up too. So
hey, if you say it with confidence, it's true.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just trying to give China some props in this goddamn movie, since everybody's sucking China or Japan's dick here. I'm just trying to get. Look, there's a new world order coming, and I know where China stands, and I'm with you guys.
TikTok #1.
Nice slicing and dicing, partner.
No, dude. At the end of this, dude, when the credits roll, I don't even think I waited until the credits rolled. I'm like, I think the credits start here, and I just stopped the movie. We said it at the beginning, dude, this movie's terrible. And it's a hard watch. I love action movies. We both love action movies. I'm willing to suspend disbelief. I'm willing to allow bad acting in action movies because, you know, it is what it is, especially like 80s into the 90s. Like, you know, some of these weren't the greatest, but they're at least entertaining. This wasn't even that. Like, this was just bad. I know you could talk about the writing, but for me to notice how bad the writing is, that's saying something. This was poorly written. It was just front to back. It was trash.
Yeah, no, this movie's just awful. This is one of the worst buddy cop movies I've seen. And I've seen all of them. All of them. And this is just... It's so oddly racist and terrible and not funny where it's supposed to be funny, and the action slow where it's not supposed to be slow. There's way too much focus on the size of people's dicks.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Thanks.
The obligatory sex scene is ridiculous. Even like, why is she attracted to Chris Kenner? Brandon Lee's right there and is actually age appropriate. But she's like, no, 50-year-old blonde Sasquatch. I
don't think he's
Let me
50.
mount you.
He's like 25 in this movie.
The motherfucker's been 50 since 1984. Who are we talking about?
I mean, he did look about 40. I'll give him that.
I mean, look, dude, I'm not taking... That's He-Man. He still looks good, but he's still 50.
You're still just bringing up bad movies. Like, you want to know another movie worse than this one? He-Man.
Wow. It's a Dolph Lundgren-led action film.
It's a Dolph Lundgren joint. I don't want to smoke any Dolph Lundgren joints.
No, pass. This movie's a big pass for me. That's a pass for me, dog. It's gonna be a no for me.
It's gonna be a no for me. You're not going through to Hollywood, dog.
No, sorry, dog. This ain't it. This isn't your time.
Definitely not it.
No, this is just a bad movie. I was just longing. All I kept thinking watching this was about Lethal Weapon, because that is the buddy cop movie. A lot of people go Bad Boys or some of the newer stuff. Lethal Weapon is that OG buddy cop, no holds barred, fucking shit up movie. And comparing that as like using that as my barometer for the rest of these, this is just, it doesn't even come close.
It doesn't. And if you're like, hey, I want more of an Asian tip in my buddy cop movie. There's another one out there. There's actually a few of them. They're called the Rush Hour movies that are still, like, obviously the first one. The first one's great. Chris Tucker's awesome. But like, if you're like, hey, I want like an Asian co-star with an American, like, boom, done and done.
Hell yes.
It's terrible. I don't think there's anything left to say about it.
No, outside of like the funny dick stuff, they're really like this movie's just not funny. It's not good.
No,
it's everything is very bland.
Which sucks because three people that I love, Dia Carrere, Brandon Lee, and Dolph Lundgren, all three in this movie. How was this bad? But it was. So that's all I got. You got anything else?
My favorite part in Lionheart, I think. No, I got nothing.
For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was Showdown in Little Tokyo.